Yeah. Okay, well, let's see if we can get this thing going. Just getting started on the stream for the morning. I don't know how long I'm going to be on it. And Twitch hasn't caught up with the fact that I went live yet. Yeah, let's see if we can get things to do what they're supposed to do this nice early morning. Okay, I think that's working now. There we go. Alright, welcome in Twitch watchers. If anybody's up this early to watch. Doesn't seem to be, but you never can tell. I'm sure people get a nice notification saying that I'm online now. Oh, welcome back to Lucky Farms. Not meant to be a play on words for Lucky Charms, but sure sounds like one to me anyway. September, beginning of September. Looks like a little bit of frost on a nice early morning. It's only about 6:30 real world, and it's 6 o'clock in the morning in game, so it's about right. It's about right, and yes, that looks like there's some frost on the tree. Wow. Okay, well, we're gonna get things started. Oh, well, I think I see something that needs to be reset. From the looks of that. Yeah, that's a little glitchy. I'm gonna have to remember to take the front loader off that when I go to close out of the game. Interesting. Although I think I may have found something that will fix that on a little bit more permanent basis than that. We're going to trade in that quickie for a John Deere brand one. Why it works, I couldn't begin to tell you, but on another file, it worked. So, goodbye quickie. If that ends up being the answer, then that ends up being the answer. I hope putting this video out and doing this will help somebody else out on the subject so that they can have a better time with that particular tractor. Because it's a great little tractor, don't get me wrong. I love her to pieces. But it was glitchy there for a minute. But the 663 seems to be the answer. And I hope this information gets into the hands of the right people to see a fix put out for that. Maybe name this connector the John Deere connector and not have quickie on there or something. As it's just having too many issues. Up, down, tilt, tilt. Good to go. Brand name logo on there. The tractor itself did not come with a arm. If we come in here to small tractors, show it to you. It's this one. You hit attachments and there's nothing. You come in here. Come down to where we've got the front loader. You get quickie or power in both green and black on both of them, or nothing. Whereas it's the John Deere arm that I've put on here. And it seems to fix the issue. So there's that. Okay, well, our $29,000 is going to have to stretch for the winter somehow. We have to do something to make some money. Last episode, we went over and helped out our neighbor Bill. Got his field taken care of. Or at least 2 of his fields anyway. He's got a 3rd. And I want to say I left my truck over there. But Bill's agreed to come pick me up at the house and take me back over there, so we just got to get this over there and home. And he may end up hiring us for some other projects for those fields, as he doesn't have a plow or cultivator or anything like that. And they're not huge fields, they're just undertended at the moment. If that makes sense. And we still have some custom work that we're going to do for the neighborhood. As far as mowing front lawns and such. Maybe I didn't leave my truck over there. Okay, well, I've got a tracking system on my vehicles that hooks up to my tablet. I'm going to take a look at the tablet. Yeah, okay. What do we have over there? That's the trailer. That's his harvester. That's right. And it's harvested. Nothing else in the neighborhood is, but that is. And that was because it was canola, and I needed for the diesel plant. We made a deal with him. So Bill's got 224,000, and I've got 29,000. We made a deal because he needed the money for the crop, and I needed the crop, and I didn't have the money for the field. So he bought the field when he moved to town, and he asked me to help him harvest it. So that worked out. Let's see. Do some regular custom work over here like that. I think we're going to take that contract from Katie. And Katie actually runs the Antmall dealer down south. I don't know what she's doing with a place that far north. Interesting. Looks like my trucks are all here. Okay. That little spot up there for Katie. Where do we have our mower? Oh, yes, over there. Okay. We're going to take them through the tractor and the mower on the trailer. Go take care of Katie's place for some money. And a nice brisk Irish morning on a map known as Lady Hill. In case anybody's wondering about that. And Katie's field isn't too far from home for us, since we've now got a nice central location to work with. And we'll have to check back with Bill on his place. And there is something that came up. It's a different bucket than I think this one is. Because this one's kind of a large capacity shovel. Yeah. There's another bucket that's out there. It might allow us to pick up the grass we cut for Katie. I wonder if it would work on contract grass. I've not tried it. Forwards or backwards? I'm gonna try backwards. Ooh, a little too tight for backwards. Come on. Ooh, that's pushing the envelope right there. I wonder if the trailer ramp will go up for that. Well, nothing to it but to try it. Oh, it works. Doesn't like it, but it works. The poor tractor. So I'm gonna see about getting that bucket real quick. And in case anybody's wondering what bucket I'm talking about, it's this one that says municipal shovel. I'm gonna stick to the John Deere green color because it's got that available to it. And that'll allow us to pick up grass that we cut for someone. We could take and put it into our process and make a little more on it. I don't have to worry about that when it comes time to cut these little yards over here. But actual farm sim contracts, well, that might be a different subject. Oop, I went the wrong way. Let's pull a U-turn. Oh, you know what? We also didn't turn off the tractor. Save a little fuel. Don't have much to work with. Come here, Ben. Kitty cat. I still have a bale in the field. Oops. Oh, we'll have to come back and deal with that. Throw that into the process as well. Now remember, I do have that straw harvest building, the pelletizer, or the pellet palletizer up there in the quarry. We can't really do anything with that until we have a nice expensive piece of equipment. I'm gonna make some money with this stuff. May end up selling off some of the hay that we're working on, or the silage or something. So while I've seen some others work with a role play aspect like this, and they can hide what they do on the menus because they can edit their videos, mine, on the other hand, is going to be raw. So you're seeing everything that I see on this. And I'm not doing very much, if anything, off camera. And I'm really hopeful that this new arm fixes the situation that we saw earlier. I'm also hopeful that it helps somebody else to fix an issue they have with it, so they don't end up just deleting the mod. Like I said, it's a very nice tractor. It works well. It's powerful. It needs to be played with. But, or worked with, if you will, but if it's going to break like that, there's not much I could do for her. Yeah, this trailer's not liking me, but it's what's gonna happen. Okay, let's shut down the tractor and we'll get going. And we'll be able to hook up to the Batwing pretty quick and easy there. Alright, time to go out the back door. And if you're enjoying my content, please let me know by liking and subscribing on YouTube. Share, notification bell, all the social media fun that is to be had. Over here on Twitch, follow, and get in the chat room and start some kind of conversation. Other than, would you like to buy my viewers? I'm tired of those folks. If that's all you're after, don't bother. There's no money in the channel right now, unless, of course, you donate some in. Let's see, is it this way? No, it's not this way. That's a whole nother set of farms back in there. This way. But, yeah, spark a conversation. Ask me some questions. I'll see about answering them if I can. There's our quarry on the right. And there's a farm up here on the left with one field out of the whole set that needs mowing right now. I'm hoping that somebody gives me some more contracts in this one.
Bobby?
It's a pretty farm.
No. Get on your own side.
And then we've got a cat that's misbehaving today. She's having some troubles, and I'm not sure what to do about it. So if you hear us growling at her, well, we're not being mean to her. I'll point that out first off. That's not the intention behind it. But, it's upsetting to see her having this kind of trouble. And she knows better. There's nothing we can do about homesick. I think I took a wrong turn in here somewhere. That's a darn fence. Well, sorry, cornfield. Okay, I think I see it. Around the front of this place. And don't worry, I've got the option turned off for crop destruction, and you can't destroy someone else's crops anyway in the game. So, but get this taken care of up here so I can get into the field. I'm just going to pull into the yard here for a minute. We'll unload the tractor, mower. See what kind of trouble we can cause. Here we are. There are times where some of these GPS lines just don't make much sense to me. In this little bitty field, there's lines that are right next to other lines. It doesn't make much sense. And this is the time of day they wanted me to do the mowing, so this is when I'll do it. This is what I mean. That makes no sense to have another line right next to it. But contracts, in general, they want you to leave something behind for some odd reason. Not very much. It's very little, but it, not even that. I don't know exactly the percentage, but it's a very small amount. Maybe that's the issue. For gameplay on something like Farm Simulator, we'll just say that the owner wanted to do some of the work himself. And go from there. I'll leave that stripe on the right. We're already at 91%, and I still have 2 stripes to go.
That's what quarter.
The math doesn't quite add up if you're going to do the entire field, is the point. And who's going to do a contract and leave that much?
Else,
Yeah,
okay.
contract complete. There's that little stripe over there and a chunk over here.
Oh, in the Bible, they just left a corner.
Yeah, well, they're probably talking a grain field too, not a grass field. Anyway, you may hear my wife comment in the background. It's fine. We'll figure things out. Anyway, I'll tuck this right here for right now. Put down the bednar, and we're gonna try out this bucket and see if it actually lets us pick that grass up. It's supposed to be that this is a municipal bucket that allows us to do yeah, it's letting us pick it up.
Define
Municipal
municipal.
meaning that anybody in the county apparently can make use of it. Or in this case, I can clean up anywhere in the county with the bucket. Okay. Well, I've got something in mind then. We'll grab an Uber back to the house. Or taxi, whichever. We take our tipper up there. I know it seems a little redundant to have both trucks up there at the contract yard, but they're letting us pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up. It's kind of like with the Deadwood contract. They'll let us take the wood. It's not worth very much. It's deadwood. But the sawmill will pay us for it. Where did we end up in the tractor here? Oh, over there. I don't want to wake the household too much. Although I think they're awake now anyway. This thing rumbling into their yard. Well, this is when the homeowner wanted me to do this, so this is when it gets done. Yeah, I might be late being up at 6:30. Up with the sun, though. Hey, they're letting me pick up the grass. That's fine by me. This is the way grass contracts should have worked anyway, as far as I'm concerned. So Katie may have hired us for this. I think she lives alone and she's already down at the animal dealer by this time of day. Because she runs that business down there. Not sure what else Bill's gonna do. But I know we've got our hands full taking care of these things. And in case anybody's looking to find out, yes, this is an all platforms mod. The municipal bucket, I mean, along with the tractor and the truck that you see in the background. Those are all available to Xbox, PlayStation, PC, everybody. I'm going to move the truck around a little bit, so it's parked over here by these bushes. So I got to get this grass up too. Maybe I can sneak around this stuff. And I don't have to move the truck. Yep, okay. Still have to move the truck. Not as much. As I said, my quarry is just across the road, so... So a new feature that they set me up with on Twitch is that you can subscribe to the channel. Meaning that you can have all the benefits and things of having that subscription. I haven't really subscribed to any other channels, so I don't know what all those things are necessarily. Again, like I said, there's not much money in the house to work with for such things. Especially being unemployed at the moment. So if anybody wants to let me know on the chat how that works out, or what it entails and what it gives, great, that would be wonderful. I'd love to have that information. I'm sure it's to be found somewhere on Twitch as well. They would tell us. I just gotta go looking for it, I guess. Anyhow, but that might be something to engage with the chat room. You know, and that way we find out directly from people who use that particular feature exactly how it works. In case somebody's new to the platform or watching this on YouTube and considering watching on Twitch next time. Also on Twitch, I do have my Patreon page listed, and I did work on that a little bit. I've got a link in there to the series of books my wife has written that are available on Amazon. It's the series known as The Rolling Sea, and I put it up as a paid piece, so I think you have to subscribe or whatever their version of that is on Patreon. And I would greatly appreciate if somebody could help me to test that feature out too. Uh, just let me know how it works out for you. You know, if it does work out for you at the very least. And if it doesn't, let me know that too so that I can fix it. And if somebody knows an easy way for me to contact the modder that made the tractor, do let me know that too. Otherwise, I'll reach out through other means that I have and see what I can find. At least this is letting us pick up the grass, because that's going to be a usable product for us. Oh, I do have to check on something for Bill while I'm thinking about it, because I just thought of it. No, we're not completing the contract yet. We need to come over here to his other field. Nope, that still lists as growing. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. And this should make Katie happy because we'll get her yard cleaned up nice and pretty. And so far, the video my wife is watching in the background is quiet enough, it's not coming through. So that's good. I know, not terribly exciting to watch me bucket a field of grass, but that's part of the project. And I am aimed at getting 50 followers on Twitch, because at that point I'm not much closer to actual monetization. But at the moment, subscriptions and things like that, the money stays in Twitch. So I don't see a dime of it in or outside of Twitch. But it would allow me things like other emotes or bits and bobs like that. And I gotta figure out exactly how all that works too. But it might make things a little more fun. Additionally, it's getting closer to, well, Pirate Author, my wife, typically starts her streams about 8 o'clock. Looks like she's getting ready to set up a little bit early. Oh, she's just going to do a quiet stream in case somebody wants to watch her on the Minecraft. Now, her Minecraft is also Irish inspired, as her characters live in a fictional version of Ireland. And if there's anybody out there that's watching this and enjoying the fact that I play on an Irish map instead of my usual American maps, and has some knowledge of the Emerald Isle, her characters in her books, and no, we've not been there for real, I'll admit that, but her characters in her books do live in Southern Ireland, right along the coastline. So if anybody has any inspiration to offer, I'm sure it would be, perhaps added to the story, perhaps adapted to the story is a better term for it. And I don't know how true to life her little towns are in Ireland, but she does try. And actually, at least one of her builds of one of the towns was based on a Google map. Based on being that she builds her version of the world in Minecraft. And there's only so much you can do in a round world with Square games. But I challenged her to build her world in Minecraft so that she could see The general store is over here on the left instead of where she's got it in the story on the right, because she's got a school on the right, or things like that. That's an example, not an actual thing in the story. It's to help her writing.
Also to stop that living room from expanding and contracting.
Yeah, or in the case of her character's house, she's had an issue where the living room changes size to suit the story. Living rooms don't change sizes typically. So that's helped a lot with that. So my link on Patreon for her books is a test to see if that works. It's not meant as the only way to get to those stories. You can go directly to Amazon to get to it, but this at least gives you a link to the series of pirate books that she's got. And also it's just something to help support the channel a little. This truck is getting pretty full. To check up on that. Ooh, almost full. Well, we'll fill up the truck, we'll fill up the bucket, and then we'll go. Because that was the deal I made with Katie. And any residual grass is on her. Oh, truck's full. So now we know to use the tipper truck to tow the trailer. Put the mower and the tractor on the trailer. Because we filled up the truck. We can do contracts this way. Alright. Well, we've got our bucket full, we've got our truck full. The only other thing I could do is go get that other Brantner or the other trailer we've got. Fill it up too. I might just do that. Where did we put the truck? Pick up. Where'd you go, pickup truck? There you are. Alright. I'm gonna do this. The idea is not to make a mess of their yard or fill it up with my tools and trucks, but just to take care of the business here. And we'll go get another piece of the puzzle. One of these days we're going to expand our operation to where we can have a bigger trailer. Because that little flatbed's doing well. Don't get me wrong, and the tractor barely fits on it though. So I may end up using that trailer for tools and have something else for the tractor otherwise. Doing a lot of running around just for a contract field, but that's okay. I was also testing out that bucket to see if that worked, and it did. Which is good. Means we can make use of that. So another project we've got is actually the one directly to my left, that wall of bushes in here. A bunch of trees and things like that. I'm gonna have to get a hold of a chipper to get in there and chip that all up. Put in something to make use of that. At least I think this trailer over here will take grass. I don't see why it wouldn't. Now this has ramps to it, but also has that cover on it, and it is a tipper. But that might be another possibility. We'll see. And I'm not usually specific about brand names for trailers that I use on this kind of project, but, well, today we seem to be a little more brand specific. We may yet take a chainsaw to some of that forestry work and maybe make some money on the wood that way. But for the most part, I think I am going to end up chipping it. Let's see here. Hear that, Sam? She called you wishy-washy. It's not a big capacity trailer, but it is a trailer at least. Oh, I wonder if my truck can tow it. I think that truck will tow these. One way to find out. So I am actually testing some ideas on this series as well. If I say something like that, it's just because I'm not sure about the connections. Some of the trucks and tractors and trailers and things on Farm Sim 25 are a little picky about what works and what doesn't. Yeah, that worked. Okay. Let's go back and get our tractor here. Now you can put this back on the flatbed. Is the one towing it. And I can put that Bednar up on the trailer. I know, not terribly nice to drive on our front lawn, but it's what needed to be. Let's get off the lawn. We're supposed to be a lawn care, not a lawn crush business. There we go. We do still have our little utility tractor, and that's going to be for our garden mower. So it's kind of specific too, huh? Let's drop this down before I forget to. Just throw a couple on there. Now, let's see about the rest of this. I mean, I have these tools. Why not make use of them, right? I can't bale this ground because the system won't let me bale it. Otherwise, I would have. But I can collect, apparently, some loose grass with this municipal bucket. We're going to make use of it. And if anybody's got another crossplay mod that they would suggest would fit well with this series, be my guest. Let me know. I do monitor my chat on Twitch, at least reasonably. Don't get a lot of people talking on there like I wish I could, but if you've got an idea, let me know. Always open to ideas. Why am I chasing grass? I'm gonna leave that. It's gonna make me chase it, I'm gonna leave it be. There we go. And I'm hoping that the flatbed is tall enough that I can pull it up near this tipper trailer and be able to use the garden mower to tip into it. I have nothing else. I can always take the grass back to my place, empty it into a field, and then bale it up, if need be. Alright, that's as much as we're going to get. We're chasing the rest of those little piles, and I'm not going to fight with it. Alright, that's as much as we're going to do here. It looks like we've got a truck, a trailer, and nothing in the bucket, which is fine by me. Nope, we're not going to fit this thing any better forward than we did backward. Maybe. Hey, we got it. Okay. We're gonna take and back this into here. For a minute. Grab our truck, get it out of the field, and I'm gonna close out that contract. I hate having to leave that much grass behind, but that's what it called for. There's no adjusting that on Xbox either. So I'm starting to think that some of our productions are what's going to save this farm from going bankrupt, because we're down to 27,000. Our capability to mow grass and things might limit our income stream. But then again, this county is loaded with grass. Everything in green right now is grass. This steady green. Not the bright green, not the off green. Well, let's take and get paid by KD. $743 for that field. And we're good with that. And the grass stayed in the trailer and the truck, so I'm good with that. You know, it'd be really nice to have a big grass yard like this one day, but we've got some ground. We've got some ground. Not too worried about that. this into here. Drop in our production line. As I said, I do have the pellet hull placed down already. I don't have the pelletizer machine. That guy's a little expensive and a bit out of the range of my tractor at the moment. But we'll have to acquire some machinery to make it all work. We have plenty of open ground to work with, to do things with. Just gotta make it work for us. And I'm not sure how this tipper's gonna work with that trailer on there. So rather than having something blow up in our face, I know as bad as that sounds, we're just gonna do it the nice way. Disconnect the trailer, empty the truck, empty the trailer. Or reconnect the trailer, empty the trailer. There we go. Oh, that thing is nice and smooth. I like that little tipper. And it worked out as a perfect size, see? There we go. Okay. And then just check on things. What do we got in there now? We get 25,000 liters in there out of 2 million. We're making some grass silage here, some hay here. We're not making the TMR. I don't have a reason to make TMR right now, as I don't have any cattle. And neither does Bill, and I don't know who does at the moment. So we'll make some hay, we'll make some silage, and we'll go from there. And then what else we got cooking down here? Oh, we got another couple of mowing contracts to work on. Opposite sides of the county, really? Ah, well, that's no unbend for you. But we'll take the contracts for mowing, because that's our main line. And that'll make us a little bit more money. We'll have to get going on those. But I don't just want to do contract work all day. I want to take care of my own ground as well, and I only have the one tractor. But now we're up to 28,000. Oh, you know what else I'm going to have to do? Let me check on one other production here. Diesel. Ooh, made 9,000 liters of diesel. Look at that. We're going to leave our trailer here for a minute. I'm going to go fill the truck up. Since I'm in the neighborhood. There we are. Now our tipper truck is back to full. I'm gonna have to get some way to cart the diesel and be able to sell it one of these times. Or at least store it at the farm. For our own use. Maybe Bill will end up doing the same. We'll find something where we could store the fuel. We'll take and we'll sell it to him. Oh, we still have to work on his yard too. So these two will be the last contracts for a little bit outside of what we do for Bill. Just got some work to do for neighbors, as well as these contracts. Okay. Given that we can pick up the grass, let's see about finding where those projects are. Oh wow, are they ever somewhere? That is way down there. Opposite sides of the county. Holy moly. I've heard of spreading yourself thin, but this is getting a little silly. Let's go right here. Oops. No, not load and deliver. I want to go to... I actually wanted to go to right here. Let's see if they'll do it. Come on. Giddy up, go. Good. Alright. Make sure things are strapped down properly there. No freeway overhangs. I get the arm lifted. And it's getting to be bright daylight, so play the headlights. And I'm definitely gonna have to drop in on that that diesel production and see about that. Some fuel for this poor truck. I've been running it ragged quite a bit here. What the blazes was that? We hit something. Well, good thing the truck has good brakes. I'll give her that. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't nice. Alright, that fills the pickup truck back up. Let's do the same for the tractor while we're here. See if I can do it while it's on the trailer. Yep, okay. Don't make that sky high. We just gotta remember to raise our arm before we lower the ramp. So we've sent our truck and trailer down south. As far as the tippers go, we're going to meet them down there. And I forget who I called or what I called the neighbor, but I'm gonna call him Bobby for now. So Bob went down to drop off our tipper truck. He's a pretty good driver. We might catch up. We might not.
Names?
Huh?
They come with names.
No.
Oh, so you're
What?
making them all
What did we
let's talk ahead.
catch on?
Okay.
Didn't catch on anything, but it stopped dead. I don't get it. Makes no sense. Maybe we just bottomed the trailer out. Kind of going a little fast. Yeah, that looks like what it is. Let's try raising the hitch. There we go. Maybe now we'll have a happier trailer. And we'll talk to Bill about maybe getting a plow or something between us. So we can fix up his ground. And figure out what to charge him for that. Now on that score, I may have a source for information on it right here. As every now and again you'll come up with a contract for plowing. And we can base our price on what the others offer for us to run theirs. Like the cultivate contract here. What's that? 4 acres for $4,000. That's $1,000 an acre. His ground. Let's start with this one up here. $1,000 an acre, so $11,000 for plow. And this one, and it's another $8,000 if we stick to that pricing. And then when the time comes, another $7,000 there. So that's a possibility that might actually work out. And he just wired the money to us, you know, write us a check, whatever you want to call it. Two, I believe, yeah. 2 or 3. Okay. And there's where Bob left the truck. Perfect. That's where I asked him to. Let's get that truck in place. This looks like our turn here. this one's a big grass field. I don't know if I'm gonna bother to bucket this thing. Wow. Well, we're gonna pull off here for the time being. I think I'll save the bucket work for the smaller fields. If I had a different way to pick up that much grass, I would. The farmer's on his own for that one. I'm not going to take a bucket to that. Unless that municipal bucket has a bigger unit available. Now they have my curiosity up. Uh-huh. It's a little bit bigger. Not by that much, though. And nope. And the regular buckets won't pick it up, and I know that. So, no, not picking that much up. But we will get it mowed. Maybe we'll pick up a truckload, sell it to the animal dealer. Katie always wants some grass for her animals. Really? Really? You can't drive a trailer in here? Ah, can't get an angle on it. Okay, let's get the arm on this thing raised up. So we don't have to argue with that. There we go. Oh, turn that off for the time being. Oops. Yeah. Okay. I think we found a happy medium for that. Yeah. Scout this thing out. Okay, it's all that way and all the way up that way. Out of curiosity. Oops. Well, I needed it. Out of curiosity, what's the place worth? 22. More curiosity than anything. This big a chunk of land is worth 22,000. Look at all this beautiful grass we could take and make money on. Now, time to make some money on it. Maybe it's not as big as I thought. So technically on contracts like this, we're supposed to stick to the field space itself, not the outside edges of it. Nah, this isn't as big as I thought it was. It just looked intimidating on foot. go. Not as big as it looked.
No problem.
Well, then don't talk about it on my stream any more than you talk about it on yours. We'll survive if you're a minute or two late. So my wife typically starts her streams at 8 o'clock and it's 1 after. And she's freaking out because she has to take care of other business for a minute. This would have been something to try and do with that garden tractor and nothing else. See, this is all field work. That thing's a garden, not a field unit. But we will mow up some yards here in a bit. Oh, the other thing to mention on Twitch, I've got a link to my page on Throne, which allowed me to create a wish list of things that I'd like to get. One of those things, I believe, was a capture card. The intention being to increase my capabilities when it comes to the streaming. And a capture card would connect well with the computer I've got sitting there. You know, we might bucket this after all. It's not too bad. The Bednar back on the trailer for now. Anyway, where was I? The Throne wish list, yeah. A capture card would allow me to take the stream onto the computer, and then if I wanted to, I could edit the videos. At the moment, that capability is locked. All we get is raw content from the Xbox to Twitch. I think I got wide enough tires that I can even be off the edge and still be able to drive on this trailer. Wow. Alright. We'll get this thing strapped down. Don't have to worry about her. Nah. Ooh, I left the lights on the truck. That's not good. Kill the battery doing that. The game's not advanced enough to actually do that to it, but, you know, play pretend. It works. So we'll take a truck and trailer worth, and if there's any left over, a bucket. Alright, turn around and sell this run. See what we get. And it might not be that high a harvest of grass. So it might not give anything that much. Maybe this will hold more than I think it will. So just to clear the air regarding my wife's books, she has one that's a children's book that's Adopted Coral. It's not part of the series that I have the link for on my stuff, but it's just kind of a separate book. And then, as I said, my Patreon page includes a link to her books. And that link will actually be updated when her next book comes out. Well, that's more than I've gotten. Yeah, she got one chatter and it turns out to be somebody selling viewers. Okay. We can go up the top of the hill and start our way down. And if I had somebody I was playing with on this particular map, then I'd probably have them just drive the truck up here so I could just grab it quick, but I don't have that ability solo. And Bob had to go home to do his homework. Okay. Alright, I forget what the truck holds, but the trailer holds 8,000. Let's see what we get out of this mess.
Hey, I changed this that song. It's not anywhere near what it is.
Well, if you hear some background sound for those just joining us, nobody on Twitch anyway, but if you're just coming in on the video on YouTube or something, my wife does come up with some creative adaptations of songs. They're not the copyrighted originals, just to make sure that the folks at Twitch and YouTube know that. And I can't help her random singing. How do you not have access to the land with a municipal bucket that literally is designed to pick things up anywhere? I suppose I could have done something truly ironic and sold Katie her own grass, but that'd be a little silly. And unfortunately, augers don't work with grass. Otherwise, I would do something like that. Put together an auger for the field side and get a semi-truck or something. But that's not how it works. Now we brought that far line down a bit. Let's see about the next line. Let's try and bring it down the hill. It's the angle of the bucket that's causing that. Really? It's quite a hill for this field.
Oh. So late.
Why?
Registry. Okay, thank you. I don't know what else to do.
And in case you enjoy word games and, you know, contests and stuff, my wife is streaming on Twitch right now. Wheel of Fortune. So you may hear her whoop and holler when she wins a contest or something, but her stream won't hear it. She's taking the microphone off. Okay, that trailer's full. Fill the truck up, we'll stop on this stuff, do other things. Really? I lined you up to catch the whole line. Oh, and if you're looking at this hedge going, ooh, what's on the other side? Nothing. It's the edge of the map. But in the interest of immersion... Oh, no, not on the trailer. Truck.
Well, if he was spinning around all the way, it would have helped. Real taxation feels like doing right now. Calls it TV watching.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Maybe I better make sure Katie will take the grass before I say stuff like that. Well, we need to save anyway.
Bum, bum. Does she even have any money? Just wondering.
Grass.
Don't forget if you have money.
Nope. There's no sell point at the animal dealership. Ooh, that makes things interesting. There is at the farmer's market, though. And that's right there. Right there. 352 meters away. Not very far. I guess we could say Katie runs that too, because she gets the grass for her animals that way. So the only contract where we can't really pick up things from it are things like the baling contracts. Um, the bales apparently end up owned by the farmer that owns the field. So if it's Katie or if it's, whoever have you, they own it and you can't sell it. You could take it to the sell point, but you don't make any money on it. And that kind of makes sense because that farmer owns that bale. And I know I wouldn't want someone else to bale my yard and then sell my bales. Whole point to hiring someone to bale the yard is that I would have the bales to sell if I own the ground. So I'm glad they came up with that. Doesn't help me as the contractor, but it would help me as the owner. Multiplayer is a little different on that subject. You have to actually, work with the other players on that stuff. Because if I transfer a bale to someone else playing multiplayer and they feed it to their animals, yeah, the bale's gone. It's been used, but I have to try and get value from it, from that player that used it, if that makes sense. Oh, I know what it is. I know what her puzzle is before she does. No.
Typing the answer with less than
Alright. We're getting closer to done with this. I know picking up the grass is not technically part of the contract, as far as the game is concerned. It's just something I'm saying that the farmer asked us to do this time around. No, but I wasn't looking for it. Hmm. Maybe we'll get most of this field. And you're talking loud. Well, my wife's streaming her Jeopardy game and she's being loud about it, so I'm gonna go on mute. Okay, well, we filled the truck, we filled the trailer, and we pretty well filled the bucket. I'll finish off the bucket and we'll sell this off to the farmer's market. You know, have to pardon the loud talking in the background. I don't know why her game needs to be up that loud. Oh, that got us a little bit of cash. And do what I did last time. Back the trailer up, disconnect it.
In
Alright,
1982,
that takes care of this
the Space
contract.
Shuttle
We'll
astronauts
get headed over
performed
to the other one,
sections of the
and then we
Starship
can take care of our own
Carrier
stuff.
into the Final Frontier,
There we
which is
go,
our area.
1,600 bucks. And Ben's offering 1,800 over there. For 1 acre.
Pierce Sellers lost a tool in space while spreading honey into rats in the discovery aimed for this starship. Is James home? While making repairs aboard the International Space Station, Scott lost a needle-nose pair of keys. They're pliers. The air Canada
Alright, well, I've misplaced where the entrance to this field is. If there is one. Otherwise I have to cut through those trees or try and climb the fence with a tractor. I don't know.
Traditionally, biology is divided into two major fields, botany and the study of animals. The zoology.
Did I simply miss it?
It may ring a bell that the title character of this novel had a huge head, sprouting red hair between the two shoulders, and
No.
enormous mouth.
don't see an entrance to this one. Well, let's see how in the world we would get in there. Okay, here's the farmer's house. Go across his lawn. Out into his field. And I guess through his grove of trees. Okay. Well, in the interest of not blocking the road for too long, we're gonna see about pulling into his yard. Alright, and that's how you get into his house. How do you get to that grass field? Well, we'll just have to cut through the field and cut through the trees and hope we don't crash into one. Okay. Oh, there's a bridge there. We're gonna park on the bridge. Oh, what was that pickup? Huh. Well, anyway. Yeah, come on. Camera angle. Something else on this game sometimes. Oops, wait a minute. We gotta go back to the truck. Here we are. There we go. Yeah, this time I think we're just gonna mow it. We're not gonna try and pick it up. The other two had something in common. They were close to where I would drop off the stuff. So, okay, after this contract, I think I'm gonna head back to the house, and in reality, I'm gonna stop for something to eat. I gotta figure out what though. So this ought to be interesting. There's not a whole lot left in the house right now. Well, we're almost done with our contract work. We can head back to the house and take care of other things. Do have some neighbors we're gonna mow the grass for that we set up back in episode 1 and haven't gotten to yet. So that'll be something different. A little bit smaller areas. And a different way of picking up grass. Why, if I'm pointed one direction, would you pick up the line of going the other way? I'll never understand that. Apparently it's an error that's actual and real in the GPS systems. This auto drive stuff. Alright, we'll get this thing on the trailer again. Uh-oh. Backed up too far. We may have to fight with the mower again. I've had to argue with it once before on this subject. But we need some space to do so, and I need my pallet forks to do it. So, that makes a difference on that. And like I said, we're not picking up this particular batch of grass, so I'm going to complete the contract and watch the grass disappear. Poof. Now you see why I collected the grass previously when I wanted it. But that particular farmer wanted his grass. He planned to sell it, so, or process it or something on his own. Actually, we gotta drop in on his house and see if the bucket will get the mower off that trailer. I don't know. I'm going to use some space here. Maybe in his front yard. That could work. I think we'll come back with our garden mower, though, to take care of his grass. Out front here, at the very least. And if this plan doesn't work, I have to send that mower back to the store and start over, so to speak, with that part. See, it came off the back of the trailer, the front of the trailer. Let's see if we can get lucky. Not when it comes to his planter anyway, but... There we are. Now it's back on the trailer. Alright, so you see these kind of twiggy looking trees? He wants those gotten rid of. Just out and outright gotten rid of. So, we're going to take care of doing some of that. And we'll use this in what they call a brush hog mode. Nope, guess we're not getting rid of that one. Can't get the mower in there. Nope, I don't think we're getting much out of this front yard. Until we move the trailer there. We'll get that fence line. But he really wants to open this place up a bit. Around the backside here. And work that fence line a bit more. So he's got to catch just right in order to get rid of it. There we go. Well, I might have to come back with a chainsaw for some of that. And he doesn't care for the wood, he just wants to be rid of this set of trees back here. I mean, that could have come through with a chipper or something if I had one and done it that way, but we've got the brush hogs, we'll just mulch it up and get rid of it. There's that one gone. Here's this one gone. He's gonna come up with a really nice yard pretty quick here. I might not have to come back with the little mower too much. Well, these kind of goldenrod bushes disappear when I drop the mower down. Get rid of them. You can see why I said we'd bring a garden tractor in here, or a garden mower. Boop. Boop. Yeah. Maybe I'll talk him in leaving this grass so I have something to mow over here. In his yard. But he had ideas for it, so never know. It's got like 3 of them in one shot. Oop, that one doesn't want to go. There we are, a little more yard work complete. There's that one. That one doesn't want to go. Boom, boom. Let's see about over here. All right, I'd call that a successful run. Yeah, we're gonna come back with a garden tractor for some of this. Back this thing up a bit. Move the trailer, the truck, and maybe we'll get some more things along that fence line. We have opened the place up quite a bit, considering. Bring this back out to the road a little bit more. Load the tractor on out here. All right. We still got some twiggy trees to deal with. only wanted the twiggy trees gone, so that's what we're going to take down. There's that one. That was a weird effect, kind of like ghost effect on those trees. I know I took them down, but here they are back again. That's kind of weird. I've never had that happen before. Okay. All right. Well, let's get out of here with this. That is the weirdest thing I've ever had happen. I'm not the only one seeing those as they disappear, am I? They're clearly not here. But this opens his ground up quite a bit for the yard, so you can see what's going on. Bill's yet to acquire a pickup truck. He might do that later. And he's gonna pay us $500 for doing all this yard work. It's just what it is. Not sure how to get behind the house. Not with my big mower piece there. So I may have to get creative. Can I do such? Looks like somebody mowed his yard. Or his... No, he doesn't own that part, but somebody mowed this grass. Ben owns it. That must have been why he hired us for the other yard. Yeah, I can't get back there too easily. And it's fenced off on that side. It's fenced off to the house on this side. Oh, you should be able to get in there. Ah, how interesting. Oh, I might have to try again here. You might see one more tree disappear there. That little twiggy one there. There's that. Maybe not. I didn't have to kill it. Good. Alright. There's that. That one and that one. And he wanted this backyard space for entertaining, I think. Or he might put something else back here, I don't know. That's up to him. Amazing how much stuff we do in reverse gear, isn't it? Bloop, there goes another one. And I'll use my garden mower to pick up the grass that's in here too, because it's got the attachment for doing that. Bagger. He actually has quite a bit of ground in here. It was just a matter of cleaning it up a bit, see what he's got. All right. This does actually take a measure of precision to get the mower lined up, believe it or not. And we're not getting to that one. Here we are. Couple more Twiggies on my guy's left. That's why it's so rare to find those toys in such good condition. Yes. I'm not sure why, but she's talking about Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Anyway. Alright. We just gotta bring our garden tractor in and do some minor mowing in here. Now we don't have to bring this back. We'll just be able to do things with that garden tractor in here. And this is taken care of. It's just not playing nice now. Come on, mower. I'm gonna have to drive it home the old-fashioned way. Take an empty flatbed. Or no, not again. Oh, it did. It hooked on the edge of the trailer again. Good enough. Alright. We'll come back down with our little garden unit and maybe the other Brant trailer. That might be short enough to do things. I don't know. We gotta come up with a way to get the mower up high enough to empty into a tipper because of the way it's designed. Or put a, well, yeah, or put the shovel on the front of it so that we can pick up the grass after we empty the bag. That might be a thing too. Alright. I'm gonna take my garden tractor across the road and get those mowed up real quick. We'll leave this loaded for now. Just gonna park around back here. There she is. Whoops. Ah! There we go. See, we almost took this house when we first moved to town, but I found that place across the road. It made more sense. Just from a business point of view. Like I said, if nothing else, I could just empty this into a pile in my field and then bale it up, if worst comes to worst. So those trees that I was labeling as twiggy trees, those are actually a service berry, is what they call them. I don't know what service berries really are, so it's hard to say anything more about them. Wow, the field actually took more than one more bag worth. Hmm. memory serves, I get to that farm tech. Oh no, the little Salic, but not much else. This. You know, maybe we'll go back to the idea of just dumping it on the ground and then baling it. And then taking the bales up there. Oh, you know what? I've got a bale out in the yard anyway. I'm going to park this over there just so I can be ready to grab that. Get my farm tractor out here for this. Or maybe not necessarily in the field. Maybe just here in the corner. And then I'll show you something real quick here, guys. Because this is what we're driving. And it's got this that can go on the front of it. We're going to pick that up. We're going to put some color to it. Give it a John Deere green. It's an attachment. It can be all green. That's just going to take its time unloading. Alright, now we can go back and finish mowing the yard over there across the road. And that's not even a heavy yield over there either. It's just yard grass, and it's not a high quantity either, but, you know. Wait, oh, I see what's going on. Hang on, I'm gonna go back over this. That button and lower that. I had my bagger lifted so it wasn't picking up. I did kind of pick this little garden tractor over some of the other models, as I do have the Husqvarna Zero Turn-In installed, but I think that one is better on flatter ground, so that might not be the best choice for this area. A lot of these places are on a hill. Even this one's kind of a hill. So That's kind of the difference between the garden tractor design and the zero turn. Is that the zero turn's more for flat ground. It might do okay on this, but how often am I mowing just this? This is gonna look nice when we're done. And really, it's just a smaller version. It's not any less useful or... Well, it's got less horsepower, so it's less powerful, but... I don't need a big tractor for these kind of yards. Pretty good solid cutting here. And I am by no far shake of the imagination a real-world farmer, nor do I cut grass for a living or anything like that. I never enjoyed it as a kid, but I only had a push mower as a kid, so maybe that's part of it. Uh-oh, it's gonna start raining on me again. Well, maybe this is a good time to go and get my breakfast. While it's raining here. Let's pile this in the back. It doesn't matter if it's wet grass, dry grass, or anything else grass. The baler will still take it. For one. We'll get this brought back up to the farm. I'm calling it a farm, but the house, if you will. And I got one neighbor mowed before it started raining. It's wild because it rained in August as well, but not very much. So there is more grass yard next to my place. I wonder if I shouldn't pick up more ground and more grass thereby. But not right this minute, as of the weather, or because of the weather, really. We're gonna get some tools that are sensitive to the weather put away. The trailers really aren't, but I want to keep the truck nice. I'm gonna put the gator inside, things like that. The little garden mower goes in. I'll put the pickup truck away so the weather doesn't mess up the paint job on it. And that nice open top tractor is going inside. Meantime, the seat is getting nice and wet. I might have to find another yard for business and just keep this as my personal stuff. Like the garden mower, the trucks in a garage up with a quarry or something. I don't know. We'll see what we come up with. Alright. Well, I actually do need the garden mower in order to go get that other scoop for it, but that can be done when it's not raining. Not that I'll melt in the rain or anything, but rather not be out in it. Muddy tires and the whole works. So we mowed our grass in August here. This is September 1st. We'll save and check the weather report. Oh, yeah, down there. Supposed to rain until the end of the day. Yuck. And then rain the rest of the month. That ought to be interesting. Not gonna get a whole lot done, are we? Oh, I want the other bucket. You know, I got an idea. Tool in here that might be useful to me. I could find it again. Not those. Where'd it go? I guess we took out the others of it because I had some other racking, but this will work. There we are. Just something to put our tools on. These things can be out here. It's okay. I might put some of these racks inside so I could do the same thing in there instead. And then take these off. But I'll probably do that when it's not raining too. It does seem to rain a lot. Let's go get that bale out of the field real quick. At least up onto the trailer. Then I take it and process it. Oh, I don't even need the trailer for one bale. I need some better aim. I'll probably put the little trailer back in the yard and just take the truck up there. Does that fit nicely there? Sort of. So the weather is being predicted as rain, and with more rain attached and more rain after that. It may end our grassworks and harvest season. Bill's harvester is still sitting out in the yard where he left it. He may have to deal with that. But at least we got a nice hat. We can get some things done even in the rain. Reasonable raincoat, although it's leather. Alright. Whoop, that trailer's decided it's gonna slide a little. Well, let it slide. See, I'm baling it as grass. Then if I want to, I can turn it into silage with a wrapper. Or I just bring it up to my production point up here. I don't have to have a bunch of bales laying around. I have almost an industrial complex going on up there. Eesh. Sawmill's up there, my stuff's up there. That palletizer is up there. Now, we're not expecting to buy that baler anytime soon, especially with all this rain. Kind of kills some of the work we could do. I may yet still mow some ground here and there. But anything where we care about the ground and what comes out of it, it is going to have to be put on hold for a minute. Poor truck. we are. And we got 21,000 in grass. Plenty in hay. We got some silage. I think we'll come back with a tipper truck and pick up the silage, take it down to the BGA to process from there, because that's what we're using that for. Wrong way, this way. Just to turn it into digestate so I can have some fertilizer. I might bring my mower up here along with the flatbed for some lumber works and try and get rid of some of the trees in there. It's something we can do in this inclement weather. Or, as I said, I'm going to go and stop for breakfast. So, just back at the house. I think this yard I might use for animals. Eventually. Definitely put in some sheep, because that's all they eat is the grass. That's what my production right now is grass. Although Bill just sent me a text saying that another neighbor is going to move into town, take over one of the cow farms, and he might need some help. But that cow farm is full of young cows that the old farmer left behind when they moved out. I don't know what happened, why they moved out, but, well, that might be beneficial for us. All right. I want to get the gator inside. Like I said, don't mind about the trailer. The gator herself can go inside. Maybe I'll take it, put my racking over here on this wall. I don't know. Back wall? One of the side walls, maybe? I don't think I need too many pieces of racking, but it would give me a place to put things like equipment or pallets or things like that. I don't need a big warehouse. I'm not a big operation. What else to do in this weather? What else do I have out and abouting? Ooh, we still got this out and about. Let's see if we can get this out of the field. Wait, where did I lose the entrance to this field? Oh, right there in front of my nose. Kick on some lights so I can see it. Ah. Uh-oh. Pickled? Maybe. Okay. Now we're on the road again. Maybe we'll just borrow that farmer's yard for the time being. He won't mind, since we own the field right here. Just get the combine undercover. I can't open his garage doors. I don't have the keys. but we can at least put this piece under cover. Not that it's gonna melt or anything, but I'll go around. That might be the way to do it. Ooh, nope, I'm not going around. I'm not going all the way around like that. Or can I get into his garage? I don't know. Ah, he left it unlocked. Alright. Most everything's in this garage. So this is the palletizer hall. Palletizer hall. When we get the machine to palletize hay bales, we could bring them in here, and it bags up the product and puts it on the pallet, and we sell it. But, well, let's close the door. TARDIS. What time is it supposed to stop raining? Night. Well, we got some discussions to have yet. So it's gonna stop raining overnight. Let's see something. We need an RTK station up here. RTK antenna. We'll go the cheapy one. And these can actually be installed on a roof. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but I install them on the roof of barns, typically. There we go. And that should help us predict the weather a little better, because that's what that's meant for. So, just as a bird's eye view goes, this is our place right now, and then we also have this field here. What I'm thinking about buying is this little field here and this little field here. All of it's grass, all of it's mowable grass that we have mower for. We're gonna have to consider how much we want to mow. Or do we want to do other things? We don't really have much for money for doing other things, so the more grass we could pull in, the better at the moment. That might be something to put in as a toolbox. And it could go on the back of a gator attachment that we've got installed, but don't have it purchased as yet. This field back here is not mine. This field's not mine. That's actually not a half-bad house back in there. We're kind of scouting the place now. That looks more like a churchyard more than it does a house. Or a church building, modern age. But that's over on the other lane. Wait, where's our Okay, here's our spot. Then there's this yard of wild stuff. We're gonna turn this into animals over here. We're gonna have to take out a lot of trees, mow up a lot of grass, and build. Meaning we have to flatten out some ground. So that's gonna be a project, probably for another day. But yeah, not a bad little yard. I like it. I might expand back behind the garage here. Put another building back in here somewhere. But that's up on the hill, so I don't know if that would work too well. See, if it's on a hill, it doesn't build nice on this in this game. So that's something to consider. Um, Given that we have plenty of wind in this town, but not much for sunlight, especially lately with the rain, I think what we might do is put in a wind generator. That way we have some money coming in, or at least a cell tower. We could run the cell tower. That would work. I had considered putting it back in that corner, but I have my trailers there. Maybe not in our yard. Maybe since we own the other yards, put it in one of their yards. Bill doesn't want it in his place. He already said as much, so there's that. Um, there we go. I actually have a lot of grounds that I control and own. This is one such place here. We'll put our cell tower in there. And I didn't give it too much heavy amounts to work on. Where is this? Okay, that's that big place. That's the yard we mow, and the ground we've already covered. Oh, that's that little house that we stopped at. That farmer's paying us rent too. Maybe it's time to go around and collect the rent. Well, anyway, I'm going to turn off the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, chat, all the good stuff. I like it if people comment on my chats or on my videos and things. I've been at it for 3.5 hours and haven't seen a single chatter in Twitch, but that's probably partly because I have it set up to stop off those folks trying to sell me viewers. Sorry, guys, you're not getting through. You're getting automatically hit. So, like, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff on YouTube. Subscribe and follow over on Twitch. Again, you could share it with your friends. Yeah, go check out my Patreon page. Maybe the books. Hopefully the books. That'll make us a little bit. He's got the cell tower. I don't know the money for that. There you go. Didn't know you could build on top of those. Okay, those should generate a little bit of income for me in different places around the map now. Oh, I gotta take care of that silage. Where am I gonna put the digestate when it comes up? I can leave it in the BGA until I have a tool to fill with it. Because that's the equivalent to like a liquid fertilizer. It's digestate. It's processed animal waste, essentially, or grass waste in this case. I mean, this thing's nowhere near full with it. Silage. Oh, wait a minute. You know, we're gonna need this if we're gonna help out the cow farmer, the cattle farmer. Ooh, I wonder. Can I put it back in? I'm changing my mind on that. He did say that guy was gonna move into town soon. It'd be nice to have something for him to eat. We might make up some TMR and hope that we get enough before they move in. So while that's working on that, just to give you a heads up, I know we're using the drone a lot, but that's okay. Our cattle farmer is kind of small time as well. He came into some money, but not a ton. He's not picking up any fields. He's just going to pick up the cattle farm. And that cattle farm is not this. It's actually going to be this one. Now he's got a silage clamp here, so he can make silage if I sell him grass. But the old farmer left behind some cows, baby ones. They're not doing too hot because they're hungry. That's why they're all mooing around. Does have a silo. Said I could use it if I needed to. Does have barns, you know, buildings to work with, but it's just gonna be for the cattle. What? It's an extinct volcano as far as I know. random questions. Random to me, anyway. But he's also got some of those twiggy trees. Oof. So he may ask us to do some work in the yard here, too. But that's another day. But this is that farm. And I think he and his wife are going to take it over pretty soon, but they're not here yet. That's a nice little spot. And he'll have his own equipment for feeding the animals, but that's all he's going to have is equipment for feeding them. Nothing for working any of the land. And he'll buy all his supplies. So if I have a way to make straw, I would be a monopoly on the subject. Well, between me and Bill, maybe Bill will buy some ground that'll do that. He hasn't as yet. This is his place over here for Bill. As you can see, the ground has been mowed, but that is a big grass field to be left grass. That is quite something, Bill. And his neighbor has this field. But Bill doesn't own the big field. He just has the house and the yard here. Well, I'm going to take off for the day. We'll let it rain a bit and see what happens with the weather. Perhaps Bill's going to come up with something. Maybe he'll buy this nice empty ground. We'll make a deal and plow it up and make some money on it. There's those ghostly trees again. This is some Halloween level stuff. I thought I took these out. Oh, that is the wildest effect. So we cut all this grass. We just haven't picked it all up. It looks like I missed a couple of twiggy trees in the back, but that's okay. I think we're going to just open this chunk of the yard up. Maybe we'll put a building here facing the rest of this. Just as a place to park things. But not right this minute. Not building things in the rain. Alright. I'll catch you in the next video.